earlier, when you start something, when you start a project, somehow everything falls into the line.
Exactly.
You find your
Exactly.
direction.
You can't go be this way.
I was really intrigued by avocado because there's no homestead that doesn't have a tree of avocado. Use the hydraulic one, the one that Issue Akali makes. They are not subjected to a lot of heat.
Okay.
So you just dry it. We use the solar. You dry it when you get the cake, and you just press it, and you just collect the oil.
Extract the oil.
Just like that, you don't heat.
Hello everybody out there. My name is Safari Agaba, the girl's favorite, and leo tuko Nairobi, Westlands. And Westland, I'm happy to meet one of the most fascinating person. Iko hapa leo pamoja, tunataka kuongea mambo ya biashara, ndio? Mambo ya business. She's one of the most interesting people I know. She's very smart. She have took a project almost that could have died from 0 to 100. And I can't wait to trigger with the questions. And before bado sijaenda mbali, lazima nimuulize mambo ni aje.
Nzuri, salama sana.
salama sana. So today we're going to talk about your project. You know, I love your project. Your project is one of the best that I ever heard of. And it's my pleasure. I'm humbled to be the one to be talking about this project and to be a part of this project. So before I go too far away, tell us, what's your name, where you come from, how do you come with the idea of the project? Feel free to tell us everything, because I want you to inspire that guy out there, mwenye anajaribu kufanya kitu na hajapata na anawaza kama sio rahisi ama nini haiwezekani. Lazima ujue kuna, you have to add on something. Kuna neno zingine zenye unaongezea kidogo tu, lazima ufahamu namna mambo ipo. Na kuongea na watu wenye wanajua, hapo ndio unafahamu vizuri, si ndio?
Yeah, kweli.
So, tell us who you are.
My name is Chela. I'll say Chela at Beatrice Ruto, but mostly I like being called Chela.
Chela is her name. Yeah,
Chela is my name. So I'm from Bomet County. That's where I was born and raised. Actually, I went to school there, and I'm a traditional girl, a village girl.
Traditional girl, you had that?
Yeah, village girl. I'll say that, and I'll say I met Safari in Nairobi, and we really talked, and we had very good, you know, beginnings and everything else, and we really clicked. I told him my story on how I wanted to do some projects, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And I would say I have an avocado project. I started it. I can't say I started it now, but I always had it in my mind. I always wanted to do it. So way back when we were young, we could see our parents farming and doing all sort of stuff.
Like most of us, yeah.
Yeah, like everyone who grows up in the village. Of course, that's the norm. And I was intrigued, and I always look back and say, in the future, I want to do something. I want to do something for myself and for everybody else. And that's why I went back home to go and try and do something. So I was really intrigued by avocado, because there's no homestead that doesn't have a tree of avocado.
Allow me to interrupt a little bit.
Okay.
This is the guy who decided, I'm not going to stay in downtown Nairobi. I'm not just going to be there trying to convince the big guys in the office, the politicians, possibly to abuse me in some ways. I'm going to go back to my village. I'm going to help my village. She was called more than once to participate, to be a part of the political lines and everything, but she said, no, I want to make a change. And this is the change we're talking about right now. So go ahead, please.
Thank you. So yeah, I after a while, like everyone else, you come out of the village. Of course, it's like it's scripted for everybody that you go to school, you go to the town, you find work, and that's it.
And possibly work for the government.
You know, possibly work for anyone.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, but it reached a point I was like, no, it's like there's something missing within me, and I wanted to at least give back. I wanted my name to be written along the streets of my village where I came from. And I actually started with, I said, now, like everyone knows, in the village, we have an abundance of food, but there's no value addition to anything.
And they perish so fast.
Yeah, they perish so fast because, I mean, there's a lot. Everyone is doing the farming, so at some point, you'll have what I have, and the market, of course, will crash, and that's the point. So I started with the avocado. I went back home. I went to another company. I bought the seedlings. I came, and luckily, thank you, because the Hass avocado, like everyone knows right now, it's something that is happening. It's something that is there right now. It's in the market, and I think most farmers have been told to embrace the avocado farming, especially the Hass. So the thing is, I went and I said, what can we do? What is this one thing that we can do that no one else has done? And we started making the seedlings. We bought it first, the avocado seedlings. We bought it first, and we donated to the farmers.
To the farmers,
yeah. We donated to the farmers, and luckily right now we have almost like we have like 2,000 farmers on our database, and we are doing it so well. And we're doing it so well. The uptake was really good, and after a while, I was like, now that we have done the seedlings, now that everyone is
let me tell you a story a little bit, because you're skipping the major parts. I like the part when she had to figure out how to come up with 1,000 seedlings. And she gave the 1,000 seedlings back to the villagers. Remember, she's hoping one day these avocados will grow and will harvest, and eventually she'll be able to buy a machine, build up a machine, and produce the oil. So she doesn't know how to put forward her credits, but I've always pushed them out. So go ahead.
So, you know, initially when you're starting something, you don't know where it leads.
Exactly.
But as soon as you've started, at least you'll have a clear path on which direction to take. So yes, after the seedlings, it was really magnificent. I sat down with a friend of mine who does the machinery who makes local, we call it juakali.
Juakali, wale wa juakali wenye kutengeneza magari, si ndio?
No, juakali is these guys who, the artisans. The people who take up the steel and make up something.
The amateur engineers.
Yes, the amateur engineers. But let me tell you one thing, they're good.
They're really good, I know.
They're really good. And I think Africa, we should embrace that.
Absolutely. And before I interrupt, this is the same thing when I was still in Africa before I left for US and Canada, where I've been for 20 years. I was fixing the computer, but I had never went to a computer school.
See?
I knew everything a little bit. And I had an opportunity when I went to US. Now at school, things came in so easy. So you can imagine those guys, they are really geniuses, but nobody's paying attention.
True.
Yeah.
I agree. So we met with some artisans, the Jokali engineers. Let me not put in quotes, but the engineers.
The engineers, absolutely,
They're actually the people who run the Jokali industry here in Nairobi. So I was introduced to a guy who makes the best machines. He was actually featured on BBC because of the best machines he made.
Himself?
Yeah.
In the village?
Yes.
I want to meet that guy.
Yeah,
Please.
you will. You
will.
Yeah. And I think he was like, I've perfected, I've seen the machines, how it works, because he was in the avocado industry for like, I think 2 years. And
2 years.
Yeah, and he managed to be around the European machinery. And he was like, wow, I think he quit actually and said, I'm going to start mine.
I'm going to work for myself.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then that's how I got introduced to him. And he said, I can now make...
my own thing.
Yeah, I can now make the avocado machineries.
That's a message there. Please, let's not skip that. The fact that you have a job, the manager, the director, the owner pays you well, it doesn't mean that you should be in a comfort zone.
Never.
If you think you can do it yourself, give them a bye-bye, a good one, walk away and do your own things. And maybe one day you can be Chela, you could be Safari, you could be yourself. We need to empower those people who have the potential to help them not to fear what is out there. So go ahead. Then he managed to put up together something.
Yeah, he managed to put together the dryers, the boiler, and the pressing machine. And apparently, the way that machine came out is actually the best, because in the avocado industry, when you're making oil, there is something that we call oxidization.
Oxidization. What is that?
So what happens is when you put a lot of heat to a certain, let's say, fruit, for instance, or a melon, whatever, pineapple, for instance, it oxidizes and it lets there's something that we call the FFA, the fatty acid content. So
is that a certificate that they are looked at when they are supplying the oil?
No, it's a molecular, it's the, the formation
of the formation of
the
the oil
chemical
reaction, basically.
Yeah, of the oil, whatever you're producing. So when you use the hydraulic one, the one that tissue Akali makes, they are not subjected to a lot of heat.
Okay.
So you just dry it, we use the solar. You dry it, when you get the cake, and you just press it, and you just collect the oil.
Extract
the
oil.
Just like that, you don't heat.
Can you guys
So it's so organic and it's so expensive, and that's why you get an extra virgin oil.
So now going back to the point, she managed to come up with an idea, and this is not like reinventing the wheel. This is the thing that was already there.
Yeah.
She partnered with the guy who had been doing this for so long, and the guy was willing to make a machine for you.
Yeah.
And the same guy was willing to show you the market where you're going to sell the oil.
Yeah.
And you empowered your local people.
Yeah.
They produce the avocados. They bring the avocado to you. You pay them, but you gave them the seedlings free. And now once they bring the avocado, you pay them for the avocado, then you produce oil out of the avocado, then you supply the oil everywhere, including the local market.
Yeah,
so tell us about that.
We are hoping to do that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like I said earlier, when you start something, when you start a project, somehow everything falls into the line.
Exactly.
You find your direction.
You can't go be this way or that way.
No,
you have to be in some line somewhere.
Yeah, but the point is start. Commence whatever you have, idea that you have. So like I said, when we started it, I realized that eventually the seedlings that we've given out will need somewhere to go.
Exactly.
And now the thing is, there's so many. So I looked at, there is a major industry for avocado, the fresh fruit itself being exported either Europe, the global market. So, but there's a catch somewhere. There's some fruits which are rejected. Not because they're rotten, they're bad or anything like that, but it doesn't have an appealing color. Maybe the sun, the insect beat it and everything else like that.
There's a deficit somewhere.
Yeah, so it used to remain on the tree, and I came in and say, now, I want to utilize that. No one is using that rejected fruit. I want to utilize that. And that's where the oil comes from.
Are you guys paying attention? Please repeat that part, it's so important. So you saw the advantage and you took advantage of it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to compete with everyone else for the fruit, to export the fruit. No. I want to go and utilize the rejects. I want to utilize the remains. The remaining avocados. So that's where it is.
So what do you do with those, the remains?
So those one is the ones that we make oil from now.
Oh, those are the ones you make oil from?
Yeah, it's actually good for the oil because one, it's so
You mean
mature.
like the shell? The one you take off
No,
the avocado?
The fruit that
the
is
fruit, the other round thing inside the avocado?
No, the fruit itself.
The fruit itself, okay.
But remember, when the guys who export, the exporters of the fresh fruit, the avocado fruit, they come and select the ones which are rounded, they're looking very nice, it has a very uniform or even color. But they leave around or behind the ones that maybe the sun hit it so hard and it turns a bit yellowish or black, or it has some deformities on it. But remember, it's not the fruit that is rotten.
Exactly.
It's just the outlook the features of it. So they don't like that. So they leave it with the farmers. So what do? I came and realized that is where the oil comes from.
Oh. So how did you figure out? Did you do the research? Did you dig up somebody give you a tip? Like, how did you figure that out?
Of course, I'll say research.
Yeah, so make sure you use the internet. Instead of sitting there watching YouTube and stuff like TikTok, do something. Figure out the way. Don't be a consumer. Be the producer, right?
Yeah.
Keep talking. And actually, on the next session, we're going to visit the entire thing, the on-site production, the gardens, how they produce the avocado, the harvest process, the growing, the seedlings, everything. We're going to see each and every part of this process. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so we decided now we're going to look for a way to utilize the rejects. And that's where the idea of looking for someone who could make us the machines came from. So we built, it's not all big, we're trying to grow, because at the end of the day, you have to take a step every other time.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to take that leap. So the thing is, we built like a small factory, and we've made the dryers, we've made the boiler, and we have one machine right now, and we are actually starting. We are launching it come July.
So would you consider what you have right now as a test environment, proceeding to the production environment?
Yeah, it's actually, yes, it's a prototype. It's what we are trying to achieve. So we have to test it first. And we've tested it at the factory where the machine was made. It's working because there's so many people, even in where you come from in Uganda, the engineer guy has so many customers there. So I've visited, we've seen how the machines works, and it's actually splendid.
So now most people's question, I believe including most of you, where are we going to sell the oil? Who's going to buy it? Where's the market? Oh, we need to know where the money is. Yeah. Tell us where the money is.
So I know. That's where everyone wants to know. So the thing is, with this thing, when you don't know something, I'll say knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. When you don't know something, there's no way that it will come and find you. So you always have to go out there and find it.
Could you please repeat that part? Could you repeat that part? To all the girls there, all the guys there, the hustlers, working hard team, the entrepreneurs, please repeat that part for them.
You always have to go out and find ideas and find that money. The money won't come to your house and find you.
Won't knock the door.
Yeah, go out there. So it started when there's so many things that is happening actually within us that we don't know. One, there are conferences for all these things.
Exactly.
The place where I get to learn more is, especially about the market, was here in Nairobi. We normally, almost like yearly, there are conferences about certain things. You'll find maybe horticulture, you find coffee, you find tea.
Did you hear that?
Everything.
You guys all every day texting me, I want a visa, I need a conference. Now you know where to find them. Just go on Google, just give them a little step how to find those conferences. How can they find them, the conferences?
Just Google, make Google your friend.
Yeah,
if you're interested in something, go to Google and ask it, and you'll find some stories there.
Easy.
Like if you go right now and say Nairobi Avocado conference or horticulture, whatever you're interested in, you'll find something. There's so many people hosting events, and let me tell you one thing, they say Africa is the future.
Africa is the future, yeah.
Why is that? We only hear it for ourselves, but we don't take so much thought into it. The idea behind that is everyone outside there, the only place where you can get the best raw materials, where you can source anything for your facility, is Africa. And it's actually the cheapest.
It's the cheapest.
It's the cheapest.
And as we go further to this, there comes Safari, and people will be like, where did you meet? What do you have in for? Then I met this handsome entrepreneur, like the most beautiful girl that I know is so focused, looking out for solutions. Most of the people, they are stuck with the issues. But you get stuck with the solutions, and I like that.
That's the thing. Always, when you want to set up anything, you always have to look for an issue or a problem. And if that problem you can offer a solution, create a business within that.
Get down. That's a big point. You need to understand that. And there comes Safari. How did Safari become of this project? Because I'm so excited and I'm so happy. And I told you guys, in my retirement, I've been retired, it's been 3 years, and I want to meet more people like her, people who bring some good ideas on the table, people who want to make me money, you know. I use little money that I have. Now I used my little money, I pushed her, she was almost there, but she was stuck a little bit. I was like, let me put my little penny there and see what happens. And secondary, the trust. I had to trust her because she's so good, she's so smart. When I sat down with her and we talked, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell my goat, my cow, and make sure I invest in this girl. Tell me. And now, the good news, we do have a contract coming in. Tell us about the entire thing. How did Safari come into this?
So I remember, of course, as an upcoming entrepreneur, you can't walk to the bank and look for the money. You know, first of all, my credit score was in the deep. So, of course, the bank won't even look at you twice. So I remember when I met with Safari, it was like, what do you do? And I was like, I panned it down and gave him all my projects and everything that I wanted to do. And he was really intrigued. And thank you, by the for believing in my story and hearing me out. It's not always that you find someone who can sit down and listen to ideas. It's not always so. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I did listen because she's very good, and the project was this close to the money. And as we speak right now, somebody just signed us a big contract, and it's gonna be good. So
I'll come back to so Safari invested in our idea, and we've been focusing on it very well, and we've been progressing. We are now, like I said, we are now at the stage where we want to test the machine. And remember, the avocado industry also has seasons.
Seasons, yeah.
Yeah, there are seasons for it that you can't just produce the whole year. It's a perishable good, number one, and there's a time when the fruits are abundant. So the thing is, we've continued very well, and yeah, we are in the right track.
So I want to hear one thing. Tell us about the contract you just signed.
So yeah, the thing is, I decided to go to conferences more often because I was like, we've now set the project on ongoing, and eventually we'll need a market for it.
A market for it, yeah.
So the conferences is where it came about, the idea. So when we went to the conferences, you find that the European people, like I said, Africa is the future. They come here to look for their material, their raw materials.
Organic, all those fresh stuff. They can only get them from here.
Yes. So when I went there were a lot of, I've never seen wazungus under one place, and I was really terrified.
Kila mahali mzungu
Kila mahali. Yeah, so we had a talk. It was a 3-day conference. We had a talk with several. I met a lot of people. And Makule, let me tell you one thing. The industry itself cannot be sustained by what it is, what we have right now. It's unquenchable. We can't quench the industry. We cannot supply as much as even if you do like 50 in your place in Rwanda or in Uganda. And we can never satisfy the market.
You see, there's a market there. What's stopping you from serving the market? The market is already available, is waiting for you. And as we are speaking with the person who's actually taking advantage of the market, leveraging all the details that she has in her head, taking advantage of small networks. And now she's actually standing strong soon when you start supplying. And now that she signed a big contract, some big money coming in, she's kind of dodging it a little bit.
You know, they say don't never count your eggs. Yeah, right? Until
they hatch.
Until they hatch.
So never count your eggs until when they hatch. And that's our good point right there. On the next session, we're going to be meeting her again on site. We're going to see the entire production, how she's doing everything.
Yes.
We're going to see the contract. We're going to see how much they might put on the table for her. And this is going to get big. And I want you guys to stay in tune. This is really good. I want this message to go back to all of you guys. You guys who have been calling me, who want to do something. If the idea is good, if I don't invest in the idea, I'll make sure I'll find you somebody to invest in the idea.
Yeah.
So what do people think of you in the village? Like this smart, crazy girl? What do they think of you?
I think when you come, you need to ask them yourself.
I think I will definitely do that.
Yeah.
And in your own words, how do you describe the word success? I feel like you got it. Would you say, in your own words, how would you describe that?
I'll say success is knowing what's enough.
That's even deep. Knowing what's enough, that's success.
Yeah.
And in that sense, I believe knowing what's enough and utilizing it, leveraging it, taking advantage of it, it's success, technically.
Yeah, you might have little, but you don't even know that what you have is enough.
That's perfect.
So you need to know what's enough, and when you realize that, then you can go really far. And
this is the girl who is very, 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 very informed. She knows the global market in and out. And tell us about the global market. What do you think of the global market, Chief? I don't know, just say it for yourself. Just pick a lesson, a topic, and talk about it, because I know you're good at that.
I'll say us Africans, we're blessed. We're very much blessed. We have an abundance of everything else that we have here. And outside there, they don't have. So what do you think? We are the market. We're the source. We are the source of everything. We are we are everything.
We are everything.
Yeah, that's why the global market itself relies on Africa to produce things so that we can sell it to them. So the thing is, we need to wake up. The market is there. It's only that you need to go and look for yourself. And we're the youngest generation in the entire world. Yes, let's not be lazy. Let's look for information out there.
what do you think of these people, young girls, young guys? All they're doing is just consuming the social media, TikTok, Snapchat, doing all those stuff. And before they realize they're too old to do anything. What do you think about those ones? How would you maybe put a 2 cents in their head?
I'll say start something for yourself so that when you're consuming, you're also earning from it. Don't be just someone who consumes and not produces. Do something. Create a village, create a community within that social sphere. Find something for yourself. And there's always something for someone.
There's always something. Please don't be there just Googling, going through the YouTube videos. Yes, watch mine, subscribe.
Yeah.
But if it's really educational, just pick a note, pick something.
Yeah.
But if it's useless, that you sit there the whole day, TikTok,
yeah, just
and
scrolling
and Snapchat and stuff like that. Remember, there's a TikTok going on, and before you know time, it will be too late for you to do something. So kwa hivyo sasa wanyumbani utawezea nini? Utawatumiaje? Utasema nini? Lazima useme kitu, si ndio?
I'll say hi mama.
What is Swahili?
Mami habari.
Mami, asante sana.
Yes.
Tunashukuru sana. Pamoja na Chela hapa ni poa sana. Tunataka kuelezea asante sana. Mimi mwenyewe nataka kushukuru, mtoto mzuri sana. She was, I think I can definitely tell that her childhood was just smooth. Was it?
Oh, it was splendid.
Tell us about your childhood.
Oh,
because you seem to be a freak, a nerd, a savvy, somebody who is up there. Were you like a regular girl? How was it?
Actually, yes, I'll say I'm the most a regular girl, the first and the second born of any other family. Ask any African girl who is second or first born. They'll have my attributes because one, I mean, we're from Africa. Our parents tend to give us a lot of responsibility when we're young.
Exactly.
You kind of take care of your siblings and everyone else. So with that alone comes out a trait, a character that builds you, that you need to make things work, and you need to fend for yourself, and you need to find something, just build something out of that. And I'll say it was splendid, and I thank God that I get to enjoy my childhood like that. And it's pleasure, and yeah.
So this is going to be it for now. But as you can tell, she is so informed. There's a lot she's going to be sharing with us, with you guys, because I want you guys to hear so attentively. There's a lot of things. When I met her for the first time, I was like, you know what? I don't have money right now, but I'm going to have to get money and invest in the idea. And before you know, this idea is getting big and big, and soon we could be making some big celebrations. What do you think?
Yes, very soon actually.
So
very soon.
And that's a perfect way to retire. I'm retiring. Who said that? Most people do tell me, why did you retire still young? But the whole point is, am I actually retiring? I'm just bringing up the best from the best. And if I have a little money with me, I'll invest in you, and you're going to make me some money.
Yeah.
Should I rest assured that you're going to make me some money?
Just relax. Let the coins come.
All right. I like that. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for everything. And again, I'll bring you more people like her, people who are knowledgeable, people who understand, very inspiring, who have really made life through whatever the odds. And they made it through, and they're still making big. Thank you very much for meeting you. And I hope to see you again on site sometime in the future, right?
You're welcome. Come to the village. I'll show you around, and you see the progress of everything else. I'm sure you'll be very happy.
Exactly. And Wakenya wote nayo ni maendeleo. Ama sio?